Clayton Kershaw debuted with the Dodgers at the age of 20 back in 2008. His tenure with the Dodgers, the longest of any player still with his current team. And if, in fact, this is his final All-Star experience, it was a good one. The big curveball to Vlad, and then gets him at the knees. Jason Adam will be the new National League pitcher with 2 out and the bases empty in the senior circuit on top 2-0. A pitching change as a legend waves goodbye. Next from Atlanta.
TNT Sports, powered by Berghaus.
I've fallen in love with someone from a different country.
I can have 6 wives.
Is your sister really your wife?
Seriously, we couldn't make it up. Brand new 90 Day Fiancé UK. Stream now only on Discovery Plus.
It's a stunning racetrack, a historic venue.
For the first time in 4 years, MotoGP races back into the heart of Europe.
Lights out and we are racing in MotoGP. Here we go.
Koufax, a guy who was referred to as the left arm of God. The contemporary left arm of God actually amassed bigger numbers by virtue of pitching for a longer period of time. Of course, Koufax had to shut it down at the age of 30 because of severe arthritis. Koufax, a guy who was referred to as the left arm of God. All-time greats. The contemporary left arm of God actually amassed bigger numbers by virtue of pitching for a longer period of time.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. 47 games.
Down at the
nice
age
little
of
gesture
30
by Dave Roberts. Jason Adams,
severe arthritis. A guy who was referred to as the left arm of God. All-time greats. The contemporary left arm of God actually amassed bigger numbers by virtue of pitching for a longer period of time.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. 47 games. Nice little gesture by Dave Roberts. Jason Adams.
Yonder already talked about the Padres relievers who were here, and it's a ball and 2 strikes now to Ryan O'Hearn.
You talk to the San Diego Padres and what Adams has brought, right? This is 8th inning guy, setting him up for Suarez, and some guys, they don't even know if they like him better facing left-handers or right-handers. That changeup is real. And for all 3 of those guys in the bullpen for the San Diego Padres, all 3 have something in common. They all have plus changeups, and that's what Adams brings.
Last time the Padres put 3 pitchers into an All-Star game, it was 2007. And it was 2 starters, Jake Peavy and Chris Young, and a Hall of Famer, Trevor Hoffman. O'Hearn with a drive out to the corner, and that's just foul and right.
Wow. You look at the story of O'Hearn, right? Guy who was with the Padres, a guy who was with the Royals. Booney even said it. I remember watching him with the Kansas City Royals. He says, there's a really good hitter in there. We think this guy's going to be electric. He's going to be a great hitter. Sure enough, goes to Baltimore and is having a great year. On-base percentage, always controls the strike zone. But, man, every time you see him, it's 4 good at-bats every single night for the Baltimore Orioles.
2 balls and 2 strikes to the Orioles' designated hitter, Ryan O'Hearn. OPS up north of 800. Got him here. And a called strike 3 is taken by O'Hearn. Might have thought about touching his cap for a challenge. Instead, he's going to let this game go to the bottom of the second. Kyle Tucker's already made an outstanding catch tonight. He'll lead things off for the National Leaguers, who lead it 2-0 in Atlanta.
TNT Sports, powered by Berghaus.
His best Ted Williams pass, and the Cubs standout is going to lead things off in the second tonight.
And when you ask him about that, how honored he was to even get the call and the opportunity.
Imagine. He will lead things off against a new pitcher on the mound for the American League. And why not Carlos Rodon? First of all, you know, he's been great for Aaron Boone. But secondly, his 26 wins over the last 2 years are second most in the majors, only behind the guy he replaced tonight, Tarek Skubal. So it makes nothing but sense to have him work the second inning tonight. And he'll start by missing upstairs to Tucker. Tucker, then Francisco Lindor and Pete Crow Armstrong in the second inning for the National League.
Well, you look at Carlos Rodon and what he's done, the adjustments he's made. It's not so much the physical aspect of it, it's the mental aspect of it. A guy who's matured a little bit more, right? Wearing that pinstripe. Has learned from his postseason mistakes, but man, he's been fantastic. Between him and Max Fried, I mean, the 1-2 punch the Yankees bring to the table, you can argue this is one of the best, right?
Yeah, let's face it, in a year where the Yankees are without their staff ace, their reigning rookie of the year, Luis Gil, has not pitched this year. A lot was needed from Fried, who you just saw, and this guy, Carlos Rodon, and he has really answered this season. 2 balls and a strike to Kyle Tucker. 2-2 now.
119 innings pitched with 135 strikeouts. And that's what he's done. He's going to get wins like that. He's going to go deeper into counts. Being his teammate, guy who gets prepared every 5th day. Great teammate on and off.
Rodon, an all-star for the 3rd time in his And there's one gone for Rodon. Let's take a look at his arsenal.
Yeah, I mean, it's that four-seamer, right? There's no question about it. He's going to throw it at the top of the zone, but that's his favorite pitch. When he's locating with that fastball, kind of everything comes into fruition. The slider's a really good pitch. He's throwing it about 31%. Listen, there's not much fooling around with this guy. That changeup, sinker, curveball, but you know you're going to get the four-seamer. The four-seamer with the sinker, he's going to throw it over 50% of the time. You know what you're going to get is that four-seamer at 96, 97 with that devastating slider.
One gone, base is empty for Francisco Lindor, who is an all-star as a Met for the first time in his career. Hard to believe.
Yeah, very hard to believe. Now you look at him and what he's meant for the Mets, right? The leader, the captain. Here we see Pete Alonso playing shortstop, plays every single day. That's the most important thing about Lindor, what he brings. Yes, I understand the good defense. Yes, the offense, switch hitter. But what he does every day, he posts. He's at shortstop. He wants to play. He wants to win. This Puerto Rican out of Caguas has been incredible for the New York Mets.
0-2 the count to Francisco Lindor.
Ball down. There's no question, too, right? WBC, what he means to Puerto Rico, what he means to that city, that state, everything about it, right? It's Puerto Rico and everything for life.
10 years in the big leagues, and since he debuted in 2015, nobody has started more games at the shortstop position.
He posts, huh?
It's kind of odd seeing him batting number 8, but that's how deep an all-star lineup is, right? And there's a swing and a miss. Two gone for Carlos Rodon.
And he looks really, really good, right? We talked about that fastball with his arsenal. He's coming right at you. He's thrown some to Tucker. He threw some to Lindor. That kind of just gets by you. It's got that last life. That's the thing with Rodon. You see the fastball well, but then when you're swinging, you see Lindor saying, man, that ball just got by me right there.
Two gone, base is empty for Pete Crow Armstrong. At the age of 23, the youngest National League All-Star starter. An All-Star for the first time in his career. But what amazing numbers he's put up this season. A 30-30 campaign feels like it's coming next week. Armstrong with a drive into right. And the guy they call PCA on the north side of Chicago is in standing at second base.
Well, he said about making his first All-Star selection, I'd be silly to sugarcoat it. It's obviously one of the coolest accomplishments thus far in my playing career. And look, I know this guy is young in his career, but my goodness, what has he meant to the Chicago Cubs, playing center field every day? He's made some adjustments mechanically, and it's definitely paid off. A five-tool guy can do it all on the field, defensively, offensively, but brings that power to the Chicago Cubs.
So now Rodon has to face Ohtani with a man in scoring position and two gone, and I'm not sure what the dialogue was, but Rodon and PCA exchanged a couple of friendly words there as PCA got into second base. Ohtani singled and scored to start the bottom of the first inning tonight, a ball and a strike.
Perhaps saying, I don't want to face Shohei. Why did you have to do that to me?
These two have met before in the World Series, among other moments. 1 for 5 with a homer is Ohtani in his previous meetings with Carlos Rodon.
Boy, the way he took that pitch right there, changeup, left on left, he saw it all the way. I'd be surprised here if he gets a fastball. Could be loud.
Ohtani's All-Star Game homer last year came against Boston's Tanner Houck. That one's into the corner with a chance, and it hooks just foul. Let's go back to that double and the exchange that they had. I'm not a lip reader, but it was friendly. What'd he say?
I couldn't really tell. I don't know if we can say it.
Okay.
He was having a good laugh, though.
2-2 to Ohtani. On the ground for Vlad Guerrero Jr. Nothing comes of the two-out double. A scoreless inning posted by Yankee left-hander Carlos Rodon. To the third in Atlanta, 2-0 for the National League.
TNT Sports.
from Atlanta to kick off the proceedings. Back with Yonder Alonso, Matt Vasgersian. Thank you for joining us around the world on this MLB International production of the 95th All-Star Game. Giants right-hander Logan Webb will work on the mound for the National League in the third. They're already on their fourth pitcher early on today.
Yeah, he finished second in the Cy Young voting in 23 and in 24. Second All-Star selection in back-to-back years. 20 starts, 9-6. I mean, this guy's their ace, right, for the Giants. Heavy sinker baller. That's where you're going to get a lot of ground balls.
On the first pitch, he gets a base hit off the bat of Junior Caminero.
You're looking at Junior Caminero, first All-Star appearance, and you're thinking, wow, first pitch swinging, first pitch base hit. Home run derby, finishes second. Look at him, how happy he is. First ball. Take a look. Look how heavy this sinker is.
Somebody's wearing a microphone tonight. Is it Webb?
It could be Webb. Well, you know, his last outing didn't go so well at the All-Star game, his first appearance. 3 earned. So he's looking to kind of bounce back from this.
Yeah, 3 earned in just 1 inning in the 2024 game last year in Arlington. He's dealing with a base runner now, and Javi Baez, who's looking to become the first Tiger with a base hit in an All-Star game since 2017.
We're talking to Javi Baez, how excited he is. Saw him a few days ago. His whole family's here. His twins are here. How excited he is to be here.
I mean, what a year he's had and playing virtually everywhere on the field. The ball and a strike to Javi, swing and a miss.
Boy, that's nasty. Good changeup right there. You look at Javi, what he's done. You mentioned it.
I mean, put yourself in Pete Rose company.
Oh, special.
Up still a ball and 2 strikes.
Another Puerto Rican. Boy, the WBC is well stacked, huh? That Puerto Rican team is so good. Quite a few Puerto Ricans here in today's game.
Ball and 2 strikes from Webb. You know, Baez was injured last year for the Tigers when they went on their terrific run starting in August. Came back this year, and there were some question marks around just exactly how much he played. He has become invaluable. There's a bouncing ball from Machado, who has only 1 play, and that's at first. Caminero into scoring position with 1 gone.
Yeah. Take a look at that play right there. Right over the bag. Perfect throw to Freddie. Booney said that Baez could possibly just have 1 at bat today. Right, so that might be it for Baez today.
I think outfield is the position where managers have the toughest time to try to get everybody involved. And now we're going to have a change at first base. And Freddie Freeman will exit to a nice ovation as Pete Alonso is into play the rest of the way here for the time being, at least.
I think the fans are getting to see that, right? Getting to notice, okay, hold on a second. Freddie's coming out.
Yeah.
Standing ovation. Here we go.
Let's listen in. Yeah, I'm not sure all the fans recognize exactly what was going on. Now, the backstory here is fascinating because Dave Roberts shared this with us before the game, that Freddie was the one that only asked for 1 at bat. Here's Jacob Wilson on the first pitch, a fly ball out to left for Kyle Tucker. Freeman recognized that there were 2 other first basemen that need to play tonight, Pete Alonso and Matt Olson. And he was asked by Dave Roberts, do you want 1 plate appearance or 2? It's your call, right? You're the starter. He said, wait a minute, we got 2 other guys here. Give me 1. Let the other guys play the rest of the way. I've been here a lot. I've done this a lot.
Well done. Just well done. What he means to the city of Atlanta, right? What he means to LA, National League. But understanding the roster, understanding the other players and his peers. Just give me 1, and we're good.
Recognizing there are 2 guys that are reserves at first base that very easily could have started the game. And here's Torres for a second time. Struck out against Skeens to start the ball game and is behind quickly 0-2.
Gleyber Torres out of Caracas, Venezuela.
Webb's 0-2 pitch. Off the end of the bat for Alonso. Ball finds him. He just got into the game. And the side is retired. Nothing comes of the leadoff single. Freddie's going to be on a plane back to L.A. probably in an hour. Kershaw faces two batters. Freddie Freeman has a plate appearance. Leads to a nice ovation for the following reasons. Fourth on the all-time games played list since the Braves landed in Atlanta in 1966. He is a franchise icon here still, despite the fact he plays for the Dodgers.
Yeah, and look, you look at this new stadium, right? And he was a pillar for this new stadium and this new venue here. But what he's done to the game of baseball in general has been unbelievable. He's a world champion. He's been to multiple All-Stars. He's done it on the East Coast. He's done it on the West Coast. Just incredible.
Mariners right-hander Brian Wu is a first-time All-Star. He'll take over here in the bottom of the third just to kind of close the book on Freeman.
Yep.
5 times an All-Star as a Brave, and he's been an All-Star in each of his 4 seasons with the Dodgers.
Wow, incredible.
Ronald Acuna Jr. leads things off for the National League in the third. And the guy who delivered the 2-run double in the first, Ketel Marte, waits on deck. Wu is one of the hard-throwing Mariners on a very good starting staff.
Yeah, his last start, he took a no-hitter to the 8th inning and versus the Yankees. He was outstanding. It's that fastball, that mental approach that he's brought this year. His consistency. He's facing a tough task in Acuna, right? Out of La Guaira, Venezuela.
That game you talk about against the Yankees was one that the Yankees came back for a rather improbable win.
Oh, yeah.
Scored a bunch of late runs, actually. Trailed 5-0 at one point late, and then won it in the 10th on a Judge sac fly.
1-2.
Ball and 2 strikes to Acuna.
One thing about Wu is how he hides the baseball. It's kind of a low quarter slot, the way he throws it. You would think he'll come more over the shoulder, but kind of hides it, kind of shoots it.
It's a nice moment for fans of the Seattle Mariners. An M pitching to an M, and a strikeout of a 5-time All-Star.
I mean, take a look at this right here. 98 with some ride. Let's take a look at that arsenal, because it's a special one. One of the best starting pitchers for the Seattle Mariners. Got that really good 4-seamer sinker. Throws it close to 70% of the time. That slider changeup sweeper that he likes to throw, but man, oh man, it's that four-seamer and that sinker, right? That's what he's going to attack you with. You're going to get a lot of that. Swings and misses and ground balls.
A couple of quick outs for a guy who kind of checks the box in the international flavor of tonight. Brian Wu's paternal grandparents were born in China.
Yeah. From the Northwest, loves the Giants, grew up idolizing Brandon Crawford. Here he is now at an All-Star game representing the Seattle Mariners.
First plate appearance by a non-starter tonight. Mets first baseman Pete Alonso, now a five-time All-Star, digging in with 2 out and the bases empty in the third. Alonso in very short order in the second half of the season. It's certainly something to watch. Is on a pace to become the New York Mets all-time leading home run hitter.
Yeah. This is his 5th All-Star appearance.
He is 5 homers away from tying Darryl Strawberry for that mark.
He's one of those guys, for a right-handed hitter, is a rarity the way he holds his bat. Usually there's a little bit of separation. Most guys like to have their bat and kind of put them together with their hands. Not Pete Alonso. There's a little bit of a half an inch there of spacing between his right hand and his left hand. Trying to get on top of that Wu fastball.
2-0 to Pete. Little flare for Vladimir Guerrero Jr. and Brian Wu authors a 1-2-3 bottom half of the third.
That was special.
Headed to the fourth, still 2-0 in favor of the National League.
TNT Sports.
Of the fourth, the most memorable moment in All-Star Stadium history back at Old Tiger Stadium in 1971 when Reggie hit the transformer against Doc Ellis. And if there wasn't video of it, you'd think that it was urban legend. One of the 3 All-Star games played at that ballpark. David Peterson of the Mets is the new pitcher here, starting the top half of the fourth. And he'll face Riley Green leading things off. Fernando Tatis Jr. taking over in right for Ronald Acuna.
look at David Peterson and what he's meant to the New York Mets, right? Their most reliable starting pitcher. In a time where the Mets really needed starting pitching and depth, he's been extremely reliable.
Peterson was not named to the original roster. He was a replacement. Robbie Ray scheduled to pitch on Sunday and did pitch on Sunday. So another left-hander was tapped, and David Peterson very deserving of the honor as he strikes out Riley Green.
I would think he's going to keep that baseball. First strikeout, first All-Star selection.
That'll bring up Aaron Judge, one of just 5 players with at least 120 hits and 80 runs scored before the All-Star break.
Wow.
I think what strikes you here is that all these players are contemporary. We're not going back into the days of the black and white photos here for this group. And here's Judge for the second time in this All-Star game, taking strike 1.
So Rodon faced Lindor. Peterson faces Judge. Little New York Yankee rivalry.
New York.
At an All-Star game.
Yeah. I like the note on Judge that you mentioned earlier already tonight, as we see Carlos Rodon already done for the night, that his home run Saturday was his 350th for his career, makes him the fastest to get to that plateau in terms of number of games played. The thing is, if you project a Bonds-like or Aaron-like total for Judge, you have to take into account that he's already 33 years old.
That's right. That's right. He's done it in just over 1,000 games. And you think the way he's going right now, he's getting better with age. Every year for the past 3 years, his numbers have been better. And just 2 years ago, he hit 62 home runs.
Right.
And he's on pace to break that.
Amazing. Shot to the shortstop hole. Lindor backhands, and your New York story just got another chapter.
Isn't that cool? Met to a Met to another Met.
To retire a Yankee.
Well, this is what Peterson has done this year. You know, he was chasing strikeouts earlier in his career, but now this is what he wants. He wants to miss barrels. Let that good defense work, especially a guy like that in Lindor up the middle. Gets a lot of ground balls when Peterson is pitching.
Second trip to the plate for Cal Raleigh. And if you want to dream a little bit, fans of the Seattle Mariners, there have been only 2 players that have won a home run derby and All-Star game MVP in the same year. That one's into the gap. Tatis will pick it up cleanly on a hop, and Raleigh's got to be happy with a single. That ball was played perfectly in right center field.
It was played perfectly, and more importantly, the gun from Tatis. It was a strike at Lindor. I mean, just a good play all around. Kyle Raleigh's smelling a double. I mean, he thinks he's going to have 2 all the way. But the way Tatis played this game right here, played this ball, takes the right angle, knows there's going to be a play. And watch this. Oh, what an absolute gun to second base.
So Vlad Guerrero Jr. follows up with a ball near the same spot. This one fielded by Pete Crow Armstrong. Raleigh's going to wrap around to third. And on back-to-back pitches, the American Leaguers have runners at the corners with 2 gone.
Well, there's that big Guerrero. Absolute base hit and rocket. Take a look at this throw right here by Tatis. Takes his arm, gets ready. Look at that. I mean, there's not much you can do. And then, obviously, Peter should try to kind of squeak a little fastball. Guerrero was ready for it.
Yonder, this is a spot where I thought maybe Aaron Boone would go to his bench. Here's the left-handed hitting Ryan O'Hearn on the first pitch from Peterson. He's out of the jam. A little different lefty-lefty matchup there. 2 runners are left stranded for the American League. Still 2-0 for the National League.
TNT Sports, powered by Berghaus.
At Wren, we design kitchens to your budget, not ours. So get up to 60% off fully built kitchen units with up to 7 years interest-free credit. Plus, in our summer sale, you can get an AEG dishwasher for just $149.
In the bottom half of inning number 4, Twins right-hander putting up a great year and all-star for the first time.
Yeah, he's been fantastic. 9-4 with a 2.72. You look at the Minnesota Twins, right? Their year, how it's gone. But this guy has been very reliable. I mean, very consistent. He's been their ace. With all the injuries in the starting department for them, he's been steady Eddie.
First pitch to Machado is a fly ball slicing and getting out of play. Ryan is among the more entertaining watches on his start day. Not only is his stuff worthy of your eyeballs, but he talks to the baseball a little bit.
Yeah.
He's got a very odd set of calisthenics that he'll do before he pitches, between pitches. And it's 0-2 to Machado.
He bikes to every game. Play water polo as well.
He's a different cat.
Different.
Ball and 2 strikes to Manny. Machado, Smith, and Tucker here for the National Leaguers in the 4th. And Machado with a swing and a miss. A strikeout for Joe Ryan in his first All-Star appearance.
Well, that's that fastball right there like he likes to throw. It's got that heavy life and extension. We'll take a look at his arsenal and what he brings to the table. No question about it. He loves that four-seamer at the top of the zone. He's got a little sweeper, splitter, sinker, slider, curve. But look, he's throwing his fastball about 63% of the time. You're going to get it.
He's going to get a first pitch out on Will Smith. High fly ball for Gleyber Torres, and there are 2 gone.
And there's a little theme here with these all-stars, right? They all have really good fastball. More importantly, the command. They can command a fastball. They can go deep into games just throwing that pitch. That's what makes all these guys special.
There's another theme that's been in play for the last number of All-Star games, and that is low-scoring affairs.
Oh,
and
yeah.
We're getting a sense for it, right? I mean, you've got to face a different guy throwing 99 plus every time you get a plate appearance. You might only get 1 or 2 plate appearances. We hear the stat a lot as Kyle Tucker fouls a pitch off that a guy struggles against a lineup 3rd time through. You don't get any 3rd time throughs in an All-Star game.
Or 2nd time through, for that matter. And you're seeing a lot of swings, early swings, right? Because these guys, if you want to attack these aces at the All-Star game, they're going to come right at you the first 2 pitches of the at-bat. So as a hitter, saying I don't want to get to 2 strikes, I gotta finish the at-bat within the first 2 pitches. That's how good this stuff is, Matty.
Ryan's next pitch, a check swing. And no swing on the appeal down to the 3rd base umpire, Jansen Visconti. National League has scored 3 or fewer runs in 10 of the last 11 All-Star games. 2-2.
That's just nasty. He hasn't thrown that changeup just yet. How about Tucker? How about the Chicago Cubs outfield? Pete Crow, Tucker. That team has put on a display in the Central.
Tucker is caught looking, and all business 1-2-3 inning authored by the Joe Ryan experience. But the National League on top 2-0. We'll go to a break, and after the break, we'll join Fox and MLB for a special Stand Up to Cancer moment.
message as we join our partners Stand Up to Cancer in reaffirming a commitment to the fight against cancer. Major League Baseball, its fans, players, and coaches are united in our determination to defeat this disease for our friends, our families, and our community. Please stand together with Major League Baseball, MasterCard, Fox, and the entire baseball family in support of all those this disease has touched. For more information and to find out how you can help, scan the QR code or visit standuptocancer.org.